it's interesting because yes, it's taking jobs away, but AI is also creating a lot of jobs because we have to oversee these agents. So that's where I think we will go. And I think there will actually be a whole group of employees who don't work very much because they've trained their AI agents to be so freaking good. But it's training. It's training and communication. And those are the people that are going to win.
AI and what you need to know. On today's episode, Courtney and I sit down with Callan Faulkner. She is an AI expert that has helped Dan Martell and Tony Robbins implement AI in their business to be more successful. And we're going to have her on The Buzz today, and we're diving into a conversation that you absolutely need to hear with what you can expect with what's coming with AI and what you can do with AI right now as a business owner to help take your business to the next level. With that being said, let's start the show. Hey, welcome to the Insurance Buzz. We are your hosts, Michael and Courtney Weaver, and we are so excited today. We have AI expert Callan Faulkner with the Uncommon Business. And when I say AI expert, Callan has helped what many of you know, Dan Martell and Tony Robbins with their AI and scaling their business to be more efficient and make even more money by helping more people. Callan, welcome to the show.
Callan.
Woo! Thanks for having me, y'all. I'm pumped. So good to be here.
So let's jump right in because those are some pretty big names to start talking about. Dan Martell and Tony Robbins.
That's why I name dropped.
Yeah. Yep.
And now you're here on the Insurance Buzz.
I know. And unfortunately, I'm not allowed to talk about either of those. And I don't even know how you, I think that was on an old sales page. But what I will say is, yes, we are working with some really big name people. And what we're really helping them with is really training, some of those names we're helping with some internal AI projects that are a little bit more advanced. But some of the other big names, one I can really talk about, his name is David Guillaume. He's one of the fastest growing spiritual coaches right now. And reached out to him and I was like, hey, I've been so impacted by your stuff, which is typically what I do with people. I'm like, talk about sales. I'm like, I love a cold DM. Like, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? You just go for it. If they say no, you're back in the same spot. I have had the greatest things in my life happen to me because of a cold DM. Almost every amazing, huge person I'm working with was just reach out. They'll reach out and say, hey, I love what you're doing. If you ever want any help, let me know. And get on the phone and just start identifying pain points. And pretty easily, because I've had so much experience now with all these little custom AI solutions, seeing what other people are doing, it's just so obvious to me. It's like, I'm sure when it's you guys listening to a sales call, right? You're like, oh my God, they have so much room for improvement and no one can see it. And so walk in, and the thing I'll tell people too is that whenever you want to get in with someone like this, you have to provide value with no expectation of any return. And that's what I've done for every person that is a big name person that I'm working with right now, is I just started building. I'm like, hey, what about this? What about this? Hey, you need help? Yeah, sure. Let's jump on a call. No, like, here's my NDA. Here's my, no. I just started building. I added value, and now I feel like I'm a non-negotiable part of the team for a lot of people. So it's really fun.
We're already starting off with gold.
I know.
Getting in hot, baby.
Value with no expectation.
So when you're looking to work with these people, you were looking to work with, let's just start with an insurance agent.
Sure.
And you get on this call. What are the obvious pain points that you feel like you repeat over and over and over again? Let's start there.
Yeah, well, I think in most of your audience is probably a smaller business owner, right? They're running their own agency. Do they have assistants working with them? Or are they operating?
Most have a staff, so most are going to have a service staff, I would say, of 2 with a sales staff of 3 to 4.
Okay. So let's talk about the average. Let's call them the solopreneur. Maybe they have 2 or 3 people working for them. The hardest part about that journey, and I just got over that hump. I now have 8 people on my team, is what got you there won't get you where you want to go. And what got you to even pull your agency together and get everything working and get your first clients was a lot of hustle and a lot of laptop time and phone time. And I'm going to do it myself. And it's a gritty attitude. It's hustle attitude. And it's like, It's like when you turn 18 and you're like kind of not really a kid, but your parents still treat you like you're 5. Like we do that to ourselves as solopreneurs. We just keep doing all the things because we're like, it's just easier if I do. So I see a lot of solopreneurs get stuck in a few things. One, they get stuck in a trap, especially at that size, around anything to do with nurturing their audience, marketing, creating actual materials. That stuff is either not being done or it's being done really badly, especially using AI. Because I talk to a lot of people and they're like, oh my God, I'm using ChatGPT every day. I couldn't live without it. And I look at the content they're creating and it's heinous. Like I would want to, it looks like reading it is like watching paint dry. I'm like, this is absolutely terrible. No, I have no idea what you're saying. There's no story. There's no heart. There's no authenticity here. It is complete robot speak. So easy win is that marketing content voice. And we can kind of go into the how of that. But when I'm talking to a solopreneur, I tell them every single solopreneur needs to have a trained AI that knows your ideal client persona. It knows your mission, vision, values, where you're going, why you're going there. It knows your 5 best client stories. What is the transformation that you've taken people through? Truly, like put the thing in there. Like she was in tears because you did this XY thing. Like what is the emotion? Bring emotion into it. It should know your voice. And if you don't have a voice, create a voice. Because if you don't have a voice, the authentic human voice is what's going to allow you to survive over the next however many years, because so much robot speak. So content marketing is easy. Of course, we'll go down a big time sales rabbit hole. I think anything around starting anything, like no, we should not be operating from scratch with anything. Making a decision. We're in a conflict with our partner. We don't know how to handle it. We can use AI for that. I need to spin up a guide for my client. She has a tree is down in her backyard. She's freaking out. She has no idea what to do. I want to provide her a step-by-step guide. That takes 30 seconds with AI if you've trained it properly. Those are the types of things that just are so easy that we stay up on a Sunday night and miss our kids' baseball game because we think that's the only way that it can get done.
So you said, this is straight gold. So you said solopreneur, but I would actually say like, even so, I don't know exactly the size of your company, but even with our company, a lot of what you just said, and we have 9 or 10 immediate staff and then multiple third parties. A lot of what you just said, we're using it for more than just what you're saying, but it's helped everything be more efficient. Like marketing, like Courtney's got that bad boy dialed in from a sales standpoint.
Yeah.
We're using it to help train our sales team, look at calls, analyze data to pick like patterns.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, everything you said, I think is just not for a solopreneur. It's almost,
it's
as a business owner, you have to have AI in your business or you're going to get left behind.
Yeah, a lot of what we teach is life and business. I mean, I'm across the board in every area of your life. There's so much you can be using it for.
I went hard on marketing. I went super hard on training this. She's a woman. She's working hard for me. I went super hard on training her, and it actually came in handy because we're working with a new marketing team, and they actually gave me like the prompt that they wanted me to feed her, so she would kick back exactly like what the voice was, everything. So she sent this like 17-page dissertation on this is exactly how you train theirs. Like this is how the marketing team would use their ChatGPT, but it would be our voice. I'm like, what?
Well,
this is fantastic.
Think about every time. So I teach people how to really build AI systems. I think we operate too much in ChatGPT, just the normal chat, and there's not any training in there. And I also think ChatGPT is like the worst content writer. Claude is so much better at content. And even if you go to the large language model rankings right now, if you look at content, Claude is by far the best large language model for content. And there are multiple large language models. ChatGPT was just the first one, so it's the first one that everyone goes to. But when we train the AI, it's the same thing as if, let's just say, you brought in, I said, guys, I've got a friend, her name's Dana. She is a world-class copywriter. She is best in the world. She's done work for all these amazing people. You have her for a week, go. If you said, Dana, write me a sales page, we do sales coaching for insurance agents, she would suck. She would be so mad because she doesn't know who you are. Like, what? She would have 100 questions for you, right? It's like she wants to know everything. So I tell people all the time, before you start anything, have AI interview you. If you were a world-class copywriter and I needed a sales page that never let a lead drop off this page, interview me with 10 to 20 questions that you would need to know about my business, XYZ business, so that you can be a world-class copywriter. Now we're doing this extraction process that most of us are missing because we're trying to jump too fast into it.
Dang. Okay.
If you guys aren't watching the podcast, we've got hands on heads. Michael's a little
man.
okay.
Yeah. So, because I'm not the techiest guy in the world, right? Like, I'm not the techiest guy. I've always been great at conversations. Insurance, transparently, typically tends to move 10 years slower than every other industry, is what it feels like, anyways. Yeah. And so, I would just be very interested. This is just conversation, like where we're at now, and even what you're forecasting for the next, even just 24 months, like 12 to 24 months, like where are you seeing AI go? And let's just talk about business owners, right? So where we're at now versus where we're going to be in 1 to 2 years from now, because in our industry, a lot of people are still not utilizing AI at all.
Where we are right now is that there are two different types of people that are coming out of the world. There's the people that have never used ChatGPT, which still I'm like, it's my favorite thing in the whole world to like do that. That's like my magic trick. And then there's people that say they use it a lot, but they're using it really lazy and they're really creating bad content with it. And it's actually causing a lot of issues in companies because it's just B minus C plus work that's just being spread everywhere. Bad content, bad SOPs, bad strategy, bad business plans. And what I attribute or what I liken this to is that we're in the Tour de France and some riders are starting to use steroids, but they're not great riders. Like they're still never going to win, but they're using the steroids. So it's kind of like these small businesses that are trying to get the hang of AI, but they're not actually using it properly and they're not using soul and authenticity to make sure that it's good content. Then there's companies that are actually building and then using apps that are pre-trained for their industry, which I'm seeing be extremely beneficial. And they're taking a leap of faith. And it's like, eventually all of the riders are going to all use steroids. And the good riders, the ones that understand business and understand how to build a moat around their business, will always win. The good business owners, the ones that are actually creating an uncommon product, an uncommon service. They understand sales intimately. They are reviewing every call. They understand the pain point of their client. They can get in their head. Those ones will always win. But AI is just going to, you won't be able to survive without using it. It's just going to be the norm. The thing I'm seeing over the next 24 months, we'll see if we can get there. There's a lot of conversation about this AI agent. The problem with this talk, and for those of you who don't understand what an AI agent is, the hope and the dream is that, and I think the CEO of Microsoft came out and said this a few weeks ago, that in however many years, maybe 2, maybe 10, every human being will oversee a team of AI agents that act autonomously. They make decisions, they think strategically, and they do work. They do the clicks on the computer. They think outside the box. Maybe a lead comes in, they go do research and they figure out, is this a really good fit? How should we phrase the sales call? How do we pitch them? What client stories do we use? Eventually there will be an agent that does that. The problem right now is that that does not exist. There is no autonomous agent. I mean, you even look at some of the ChatGPT agents they put out there that order your groceries for you. Well, they did a test on, ordering groceries over and over, and they're ordering 10 dozen eggs instead of one, and they're, it's not 100% there. There are AI assistants. I think that's great, where it's like, hey, every time we have a sales call, I want you to pull out the top 3 pain points, the first name, last name, and the email, any partner, any wife or spouse name, and make notes, and then make the follow-up email and put that in CRM. Great. So straightforward. There's not a lot of nuance there. It's not like if this, then that, if this, then that. And by the way, make sure, no, it's like do this, do this, do this, and put it back into Salesforce so that when I come in there, my follow-up email is already 80% done. But we're not sending the email. I would never have AI send an email. But eventually, 3 to 10 years from now, who knows how long it's going to take, humans, and Amazon's already doing this, where in the Amazon warehouses, the robots are doing they're trying to get, I think it's about 70 to 80% of the work, where they're the ones that are climbing the ladders. They're the ones that are going to get the packages. And the humans, they're training them up to manage the warehouse robots. So it's interesting because yes, it's taking jobs away, but AI is also creating a lot of jobs because we have to oversee these agents. So that's where I think we will go. And I think there will actually be a whole group of employees who don't work very much because they've trained their AI agents to be so freaking good. But it's training. It's training and communication. And those are the people that are going to win.
Yeah, it's I don't know. We're working, obviously we just started the agency coach AI business, and just what you're saying is, because ultimately what it is, I role played with it the other day, and it was a better role play than I've ever done with any human. I've done thousands of role plays, but there was no shame there. There's no judgment there. There's no, it's like, it's in, and there's no guesswork either. It was like a real life conversation with a customer. Yeah. And then the best part about it is it broke down my call to determine the patterns, the tonality, what's working, what's not working, puts it all both in an email and also comes up on like the screen, coaches you in the moment, gives the sales manager the detailed report of what was coached on, what you should coach on. And so what you're saying with the agent bots, like I can definitely see it because I'm amazed at just, it sounds like a freaking person now. I was blown away.
Can you imagine in 10 years? Like think about, I mean, it's going to be unbelievable. I do think, just like with any of these technological innovations that have come out, you know, when the phone was created, there were all these people that were like, it's going to take away human relationships because there's a phone now. No, right? Like we know the value of human in-person connection. I would argue with the invention of social media, with the invention of the internet, with the invention of phone, it's even deepened those in-person masterminds. And people pay me a lot of money to come spend time with me because they understand how valuable it is to be in an energy of high frequency individuals. It's going to be the same here. And in sales, I think those first couple calls, just those calls, you know, is this a good fit? Are we on the same page? And for these big closes where it requires a relationship, there might be a human involved, but I think there's going to be a lot of sales that are going to be done by AI, because ultimately a person, I think people now, they're thinking, you know, and you're talking to an older person, let's just say it's B2C, and they're like, is this AI or is this a person? I think in 5 years, they're going to be like, is this a person? Like, can you just give me to the AI? Like, you don't know anything. I just want to talk to your AI because now I'm actually going to get my question answered. I think that's how it's going to be in the future, where we're going to be like, do not give me your person in wherever they are. Sony, I want to talk to your AI to get my problem solved.
Wow.
It's going to be really interesting. Now, I think there's always going to be times for those relationships. Don't get me wrong. I mean, my business, you know, we just did a launch of our spring Automate to Accelerate's 10-week AI course, and we worked with brand partners. Those are the people like the Renee Warrens of the world, where we work directly with them. We pay her commission in exchange for sharing the word about our business. And my job is to make sure she's trained on AI. Her team's coming in. What does she need? That's an authentic human relationship that I have developed over a long period of time. And a quarter of our revenue comes from those relationships. And that's something that I think AI can help spot and scout. But I think that's where the value of the human, though, is just going to go up so much more. The person that
I want to get into this a little bit because I agree. I think AI becomes like our teammates as we continue to evolve, and it's helping us evolve as humans. I think this is like our next level of ascension of, okay, so like these automated tasks that we keep running into over and over, I think the more that we used to have to establish them as habits and systems, and now we get to delegate that out. But I would be curious, as we evolve, and we're kind of touching on this a little bit, what are the skill sets that you think will stick around that humans should refine and amplify, especially when we're talking about sales, because that's everyone we're talking to is in a sales organization.
The number one skill set that you have to define and get very good at is listening to your intuition. And I think what's so cool about all of this is that if you ask every spiritual coach in the world, I don't care if you are Christian, Taoism, Buddhist, Islamic coach, they will tell you to get quiet. And maybe that's the word of God coming through. Maybe it's your highest self, whatever you believe in. There is a message that's coming through And most people are not listening because there's so much input. There's podcasts and social, and we're scrolling, and we're talking, didn't bring our kids to soccer, and blah, blah, blah. Oh my God. If you are a salesperson that has developed the ability to feel somebody's energy, and you have, because this is what happens. This is what happens is every person, are you guys Joe Dispenza fans? Have you guys gone down his
Did it
route?
this morning,
Oh,
baby.
yeah.
Okay.
Generating joy.
Amazing. Of course you are. You're already radiating energy. I can feel it. So for those that have not done his work, highly recommend. He talks a lot about something called heart coherence, and he's done there's scientific studies now done on this. This is not woo-woo. Every human being has 8 meters of frequency. So when you walk past somebody, if you're dialed in and tuned in to that feeling of frequency, and again, I kind of just say like intuition's like the big bucket, you can feel someone's feelings. And they've done studies on this. They have put human beings inside of Faraday cages, which blocks all energy in. So all EMF, all Wi-Fi, all 5G, whatever. They put a human being inside of this cage, and within a millisecond, they can tell you what emotion they're holding because of the frequency that's coming off of their body. So it's also, you can feel it through Zoom, it's harder. But when you're in person with somebody, if you have that ability, you've done the work to increase your frequency, which attracts so much opportunity and so much abundance into you, and it makes people want to work with you. And all they want to do is give you money, because all they want to do is be around what you are selling and be protected by you and appreciate and make sure they feel safe with you. Like, who cares what the price is? They genuinely want to be like you, so they are willing to pay you. So when we talk about sales, we can talk about this last launch. We did $1 million launch. We did $1 million in 60 days with no salespeople. This next round, we will have salespeople. And the reason why I did one to many. Mm-hmm. And I think we will have to on this next round, because we're going to go a little higher ticket. But because I did the master classes, and this isn't going to work for B2C, because I did these master classes, it was my frequency. And a reason why I didn't is I didn't want any pushing. I'm like, if you don't want to come into this, like, clearly I'm filtering you out. So this is a long-winded answer to our frequency, listening to our highest self, and really focusing on what that message has never been more important, I think, than it is right now.
I find this fascinating because I completely agree. Obviously, big Dr. Joe fans over here too. But there's also points about it. Your nervous system will sync up with the people that you spend the most time around. So there's so much power in who we spend time around and who we let in our energetic field. But I also think that this gives us more brain space. It gives us more heart space when we can give all of these other things away and really hone in on listening to people. Listening to ourselves.
100%.
I love this.
Yeah.
We just talked about this weekend when I grabbed a golf club, and then I second guessed because the guy's golfing with was like, grab the other club, man. And I gave you the face I always give you, like, and I did it, and then I hit the damn ball short, and I'm like, son of a bitch, I should have listened to my intuition.
Yeah, and I watched him betray himself. Like, he made the face
in real
that
time.
He makes when he, yep, I watched it, and I'm like, I'm not going to intervene because this is his process to go through.
You should have, though. You should have.
Yeah.
I'm like, nope.
It's like, yeah, but that was his lesson to learn. He needed that. Spirit universe was like, hey, I'm just going to give you a lesson. It's not going to be a big one, just a missed shot, but 100%. And I think the coolest part about AI is over the last, I've been really, really deep into it for probably about 18 months now. I have become a more spiritual person, more connected with my higher self, better communicator, better partner. I manifested my partner using AI. I literally went through all the things I did wrong in my last relationship. I had it push me and challenge me, and I had it be Joe Dispenza, and we set up literally the formula for the quantum leap. And every morning I would go for my walk, and I would redo my mantras with chat. And also because I've been using AI so much for repetitive decisions and managing data and remembering stuff and doing my checklists and transcribing the call and drafting the email, I just genuinely don't have as much cognitive clutter in my head. And I think even just that is allowing for things to come through.
We would agree. So we actually did a Tony Robbins event back in March. And so we pretty much shut off not shut off, but we've limited ourselves to social media to no more than an hour a day. We're using chat now. So even though I said I wasn't the most techie guy, she showed me what she'd done with ChatGPT. Because I was pretty much totally against it up until about 6 months ago, because I see what you said, a bunch of business owners making these posts on social media. I'm like, I do not want to sound like a robot. I'm not doing it. I'm not like it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I can remember we were like creating a workout, and this thing was like specific on, okay, here, and she just dialed me in, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Not only did this just save us time, this gave me a more detailed plan than any personal trainer that I've ever worked with, right? So, and it knows my body more, it knows blood profiles, like all kinds of stuff. So ultimately, this all to say, like what you were just saying is it's helped take out some of the clutter in the brain, because now we have our own personal assistant that is smarter than we are, that knows who we are, knows our business, to where it generates ideas for us that we may not even ever generated, because it knows so much more than us, and it's helping us be more efficient. So I agree. I feel at the most peace that I've ever felt in my business owner career right now.
Well, and I think with change, you go with history. You ride that wave. So
100%.
regardless of whether you like it or not, we all signed up for this. So let's just ride this. Let's see where this takes us and be open to how we grow. I'm a big fan that everything is for our highest good. So I'm always looking for like, all right, where's the lesson? Where's the gold? There's something here.
I say it all the time. It's like the car got introduced. Okay, you're not gonna, you like the horse, the car. When the car was introduced, it killed 8 children in the first 30 days. So it was the Satan mobile. Okay, that's really sad and really bad. And that's not great. Is that a reason enough to not introduce the car? Look at all the good that the car is creating. If you want to focus on the negative parts, that's your prerogative, and it also shows me how you look at the world, typically, and that's fine. Or we can use this to further your impact. I look at this like I want to every day I wake up, I think of the woman that's in a cubicle right now. She's probably 60. She could retire, but she can't. She's in a sales admin job writing a proposal from scratch. And that's what they've had her do for 25 years, because that's her role. And Pam does the RFPs. And that's what I used to do as a 25-year-old. They shoved me in the back office and I had to respond to all these government contracts. What a waste of my time on this planet. You think that's activating me to my soul's highest potential? Absolutely not. Did my manager give a shit? No, he didn't care. And I look at these people and I'm like, you are managing people and you are making them do work that this computer could do. She could actually be creating a system around how to get 10x the amount of proposals out on a regular basis if you gave her room to shine. But we're not, because we're sticking in this, we don't need AI in our sales team. Okay, got it. Why don't you keep using your little horse? Call us in 3 years when your company doesn't exist, or when it's really hard to get back going again. And that's fine. You can stay there. I have no time for it anymore, because in the beginning I was trying to convince everyone, and now I'm like, you guys, please, it's not that hard. And it's so fun when you get it to start working. I'm sure you guys feel the same when it's cranking and you're like, this is so fun. People don't have to do this shit anymore. They can be thinking and doing cool stuff.
It is unbelievable. Obviously on the personal side of things, but even the business. And this is, obviously we're in the sales training space, right? But the AI, we've created it to where it can now train people's teams, right? And so the AI that we're using for our own team is training our team. It's helped me be more efficient, because now I can go back and look at calls. Yeah. It's telling me what's wrong with the call. So that speeds up automatic coaching time. Even more important, and in the insurance space, you got to think about compliance and making sure you know what your people are saying on every call, right? So it brings transparency to every interaction. I just had a customer the other day actually tell me that my salesperson said something and guaranteed something in the sales call that is not even in our program anywhere. And I was like, well, I'm so sorry. I can't believe this. I'm going to have a conversation. Instead, I went, checked out the replay, and found out that my salesperson didn't actually do anything wrong, didn't say what he was being accused of. And it's just this is a good thing for both customers, business owners, employees, and everything in between, because it brings transparency to every single interaction and makes sure everyone's doing the thing they're supposed to do and that they can be the best that they can be.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what it's doing is if you think about how this would have played out without AI, you would have called the employee, you would have said, here's the situation. They probably start to get defensive. You don't know to accuse them, or, some managers do. They just come in with this accusatory nature. You said this, she said that. Who knows? We're creating drama. My manager is being so, I didn't do that, whatever. It's like we avoided all that.
All of that.
All drama, no issues. Nope. There's facts, there's rights and wrong. If you are listening to this podcast and you have not, even if it's not trained, literally like take a transcript and say, hey, can you write me a follow-up email? I look at that as negligence on your own life and your family's life. You tell me you care about your children and you're writing follow-up emails from scratch. Don't with that. Don't. Like, I can't even have that conversation. It is absolute negligence to have your laptop open at 7 p.m. on a Tuesday. Like, unless sure, maybe a couple times a year. If it's like actually insane, I know as an agent, it's like sometimes things can get so out of control and you can't predict it. I get that. If you are serving your clients, I get that. If you're working on your business or on like even a follow-up email or I need to get that proposal out, that should have taken you 2-3 minutes. 2-3 minutes. It really should have, if you had the right things trained up.
By the way, Agency Coach can do that for you. Agency owners, imagine a world where you had a coach or trainer in your office that reported to you every single day, that your team had access to every single day. And the reason why most of you don't have that already is because they're extremely expensive. Usually most sales trainers and coaches are going to cost 6 figures a year. I'm so excited to announce the launch of our new business, Agency Coach AI. This is going to provide an AI coach and trainer at you and your team's fingertips 24/7. It's a coach that never takes the day off. It is a coach that reports directly to you. It is a coach that coaches your team the way that you want them to be coached. It practices and role plays with your team every single day, and then is going to coach them on what they did well, what they could have improved on, recommended trainings that they can watch. Then it's going to report to you or the sales manager in the office exactly what was done in that practice session, exactly what was said, and exactly what they coached the team member on. Then we're going to listen to every single live sales call. Think about this, a coach or trainer that sits with your team every single day, listening to every single live conversation, going in and or coming in and going out. No more wondering, hey, is my team actually having the conversations that they've been taught? Hey, is my team actually asking for the sell? Hey, is my team actually making pivots? Hey, is my team actually doing the things that they're supposed to do compliantly? No more guessing. It is all going to be documented and given to you word for word. And the best part about this is after the live calls, the coach coaches them on what they did well, what they could have improved on, and any recommended trainings that they would recommend them take and watch. No more wondering what's going on in your office, regardless if you're there or not. This is going to give you the most transparency and accountability that you've ever had before in your agency career. And the best part about it is, with your team having a coach and trainer that they can lean on 24/7, their confidence is going to grow and they're going to become the best sales professional that they can become because they have access to have coaching and training 24/7. If you are ready to take advantage of AI, if you're ready to have more time back in your business, if you are ready to quit having to choose between training your team and growing your business, go to agencycoachai.com and check out the demo or shoot me a text 816-727-7610 and I'll be in touch and we can get a call scheduled. Other than that, let's get back to the show.
There you go. There you go. Like literally do you guys talk about the price of your program on here? Because I'm like, the ROI is probably absolutely out of this world. Like
for a user?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole reason we even came up with Agency Coach AI was because of just that. So like us as a business owner, as a young entrepreneur, who could not use a trainer and coach in their agency, right? Yeah. And then that's what we've been asked of in the training space. Like, Michael, can you just come in and train my team on a weekly basis? Well, there's not enough Michaels. And so if you can have somebody actually in your office coaching your team, and it costs less than ultimately $200 per user per month in your agency. Yo, like,
So my
what
question
your time?
is, what is even an objection that you get? Like why wouldn't every insurance agent use this?
That's a good question.
Like, like what is the pushback? Is it just not understanding like the potential because they haven't seen it?
Potential. So I think so AI is new, super new. Like, again, like when I said earlier, like insurance moves kind of, and I get why it moves slow. Customer data, privacy, but to enhance the customer, and this is where what we believe. We like whatever happens in the future, but right now, as a business owner, you can make sure someone is in your corner, in your office, making sure every interaction is how you want it to be done, has the ability to train your team so they can be the best they can be, have the ability to ask the AI questions instead of now you, the business owner, questions. So now you save time, you save energy, you're making more money, your production's increasing, you have more freedom in the business, and who doesn't want to buy back their time, right? Like we mentioned the guy earlier, Dan Martell. Like, who has not, if you've never read that book, number one, you need to read that book right now, Buy Back Your Time. But man, like that is what all business owners get into the business for, right? Is to help people and eventually have a business that's self-sustaining, extremely profitable so that you can have the freedom that you want.
100%.
And that is what I believe our tool, our company helps agency owners do.
Well, it's just, if you're an agent listening to this, I think a couple of things probably go through your mind. What is it? You know, it's hard when you can't like touch it, feel, you know, and you probably haven't, some people probably haven't even seen any of this.
Correct.
So we're taking them from,
This is brand new.
I say a lot of times people are using, imagine the day when there was this group of people, they were all typing on their typewriters, printing out letters. They were mailing all of the communication to clients, and someone walked in and said, guys, there's now boxes, and you just type on the box, and then someone else's box gets the message. And they're like, how does that work? And then the guy's like, I don't even really know how it works. They just get the message on their box. And that's how it is today, right? Like we email people and don't even think about it. Which just, yeah. And then they're like, well, explain how it works. You're like, I literally don't know. It just like flies through the universe and it just lands. And it's like, that's where we're at right now, where I think people are trying to understand. There's not really a lot of understanding. It just is this incredible technology. And if you are not spending time, at least on YouTube, like getting curious about, show me a cool demo of AI, or log into ChatGPT.com and be like, I tell people this all the time. Stop trying to be perfect with the way you're communicating it. Just stream of consciousness into it. And I have a little tool where I just start talking and it gets my transcript. I am an insurance agent. I don't understand how you could help me with my sales process. I mean, I don't get it. There's these guys saying they have this sales tool. Like, what does that even mean? How does this work? Can you explain this to me like I'm 15 years old? Like, have this conversation. This is, maybe explain, interview me. I'm trying to find low-hanging fruit in my insurance business to see where AI can help me. And then it'll interview you. Here's what you do every day. Well, do you do this? Do you do this? Yeah, I do this like that. Okay, build me a plan. How could this work? The thing about going with something that's pre-trained, there are no shortcuts here. If you want to train your own AI on, we could go into how long you guys have probably spent training your AI, hundreds of hours. You could do that yourself as an agency owner. You could train your own AI to be sales. You could have all these objections laid out, but you have to have frameworks. You have to have intellectual property. You have to have training foundations. And this is what people do if they're in an enterprise. They spend time building all these frameworks out. Or for $200, you get this at no cost. It's like, it's not even we're starting from scratch, and I get that for a lot of people. But once you start to get into it, you will literally probably cry. I have a lot of people in my course there's a lot of tears, because it's like, I've spent so long doing it this one way. Even like building a PowerPoint. It's like, once you see it get built for you, you're like, oh my God, I just spent a year of my life building slides.
Well, and it's also, I don't know if anyone else feels like this. I don't like to look stupid. So if I don't like to look stupid and I'm trying to learn something new, my hesitation is, well, I'm not going to raise my hand. I'm not going to ask a question. I'm just going to go with the flow of everything. So AI, especially the tool that we've created, eliminates a lot of that shame, eliminates a lot of that, oh, I don't want to look like a beginner. It lets you be a beginner in the dark. It lets you practice in the dark. And I think that that's one of the best things about technology is it really speeds up that process of getting better, of growing, of learning, even what questions to ask. Like if you are in sales, you have to know what questions to ask. And ChatGPT really kind of guides you of like, would you like this? Would you like this? Would you like this? And I know, Callan, that you have a prompt that you give if they go to your website. And I know that that's something that all of our listeners will want just to kind of get like a jump off point. That's a great way to go. You know what? I don't even know how to talk to this thing. Callan's got the hookup.
Yeah, you said it was the uncommonbiz.co, right?
The uncommonbusiness.co.
Okay.
Yep, the uncommonbusiness.co. Yeah, I think that's a great place to start. I have 3 prompts. One of them is a job description prompt, but the cool part about, and if you guys don't know what prompts are, they're just a set of instructions for AI. My job description prompt, I went to a 12-hour seminar on industry leaders, and they talked about hiring people and the job descriptions that get the most conversions from leads into really quality hires. And so my prompt uses that framework to build a job description. So that's the difference, is that people can give you a prompt to generate, questions for a sales call all day long. But is it built using frameworks that are backed by data and statistics and actually work? That's the difference. So I have a job description prompt. I have a prompt called read a book in 10 minutes. So if you go on ChatGPT right now and say, summarize, buy back your time, it's going to give you some crappy summarization of buy back your time. My prompt uses principles from a guy named Jim Quick, who's a memory retention and learning expert. Yep, great. So he actually presents the concepts in a way that allow the human being to understand. So little stories, little quotes, and it helps your brain actually recall the information better. And then the last one is the 10x goal setters based on Ben Hardy's principles from the book 10x is easier than 2x. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Callan, I feel like we should have matching jackets. I feel like it just happened. Like we became best
I was going to say, when she said the quote earlier, you can't get where you've gone by doing what you've done. I'm like, oh, she's definitely read 10x is easier than 2x for sure.
Oh, yeah. No, that is a principle. Well, it's just, people all the time is like, it's just scary. It's like, well, first of all, you're not behind. Like, you are still early enough to win. I had a conversation about a month ago now with a guy who owns 30 different companies, $5 billion in net worth. He's private equity owner, and he thought ChatGPT was an email writing tool. That was 30 days ago. And now he's, of course, like, holy, I've spent 20 minutes with him. Basically, I asked him, this is actually a really fun story. I asked him, do you guys do human design? Have you guys done your human design? Okay.
Yes.
So I'm a generator 2-4, and my human design coach all the time says if you have a 2 in your profile, just don't prepare for stuff. Just show up and let it channel. Like it just comes out, and the best comes out when you're not prepared, which freaks me out because that's just not how I operate. So I went to that meeting not prepared, and of course, prepared with like years of sales experience, but unprepared without an agenda. And I came in and I asked him, what is keeping you up at night? And he said, well, when I wake up early in the morning, I'm thinking about, I have to raise $40 million in 90 days for one of our businesses. I was like, yeah, that's just a casual problem. I've definitely dealt with that before.
I wanted to puke when you said that.
Casual.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big thing, Steve. We'll get through that. Yeah, I've done that a few times. And so I said to him, so the second thing, so the first thing I want everyone to start thinking about, like, what's keeping you up at night? Like, if you wake up in the middle of the night, you're thinking about something. Like, for me, I have this real estate deal. It's just such a pain in the ass. There's all these title issues. I wish I could call. It's what the second thing I asked him. I said, okay, if you could call anyone in the world to talk about this, who would you call? He said, I wish I could call the CEO of Houlihan Lokey. I didn't know who that was. I was like on chat, like secretly looking. I'm like, oh yeah, the investment bank in New York, obviously. I know who they are. They are experts at capital markets, capital raising, whatever. So I went in chat. You are the CEO of Houlihan Lokey. Here's the situation. I need to raise $40 million in 90 days. Ask them for a little bit more context. They do 425 million revenue, 50 million EBITDA. They're doing this, this, and this. And then I told it, I said, I need help making this decision. I want to think like you, and I want to follow your process for figuring out how we should raise this money. Please ask me clarifying questions. It came back. It asked a series of about 15 different questions, like who's on the board? Where is the equity? And he just spat it all out. Like all these questions I had no idea. He's like, oh my God, these are great questions. I'm like, yeah, well, CEO of Houlihan Lokey asking you. We put all that back in and it presented the 3 best options. And the first option, he was quiet for like 30 seconds. He's like, that first option, he's like, I never thought about that. And it was like going back to the original lender that had just given him a loan for something else. And then basically using an asset that he had mentioned to back it. He's like, that is brilliant. And it was so cool because in the moment I saw all of his wheels turning. He's like, we may not have board members. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I think board members can open doors, but do we have to pass every piece of information or issue through a board member? No. Do we need a $200K a year man that's reviewing every sales call? Or man, I say that because it's usually the guy that's like, whipping people. That's how it was for me. He was whipping me in shape. He was like being a bully. It absolutely could be a woman doing the same thing, reviewing every call. And like, that's not their highest potential, reviewing every call. What are we talking about? So anyways, we went through, it became this amazing answer. And he's like, I could have had an intern just present me with options. I didn't have to wait for my CFO or a board member or why the hell am I even doing this? I live in a $25 million house in Aspen and I'm coming up with these solutions. So I say that as a business owner and as a human being on the planet, we hold so many decisions in our head and we get so analytical, like, oh, my wife and I are fighting about this stupid patio furniture. I want the expensive one. She wants the cheap one. Like, I want to text her right now and say something loving. What do I say? You call your buddy, you call your friend, you get busy. It's like, literally slow down, go into chat, explain the entire situation. What happened this morning? I want you to be Dr. John Gottman, a marriage expert. He studied thousands of couples and seen what works and what doesn't work. I want you to ask me questions about the situation, and then I want help scripting this. I want to send my husband a loving message that lets him know that I love him, but also that I do want to talk about this later and figure out how we can come to a compromise. Great. Activate problem. Activate and just move forward through these sticky things. I think that's where a lot of this depression and this sadness is coming from, is just holding so much of these decisions to ourselves.
Oh my God.
Think about all the free time you're going to have. All right. So, Callan, if somebody wanted, because right now you're speaking on both business, like personal, sharing amazing stories. And I know a lot of people want help, right? Learning how to use ChatGPT or other types of AI to help them do exactly what you're saying. And I know that you actually do a course, like a mastermind, 2 times a year. Your next one's coming up in October, right? So, and I don't know if there's limited seats or not, but if somebody wants to get on that wait list to find out, what's the best way for them to do that?
100% get on the wait list. Go to the uncommonbusiness.co, and there's just a little button called Work With Us, and you can just scroll down to Automate to Accelerate, and it says Join the wait list. So Work With Us, Automate to Accelerate is our 10-week AI course. We do it twice a year, and it is the most special experience of typically a couple hundred people coming together that are just so focused on using AI and getting wins every single day. And we have an amazing community. I do live coaching every week, and it is about an hour of me coaching and then an hour of you building alongside me. So we walk away with, we build an AI business coach together. We build an AI copywriter that's actually trained properly. We build an AI operations manager that has all your SOPs so that every employee knows where everything is. We talk about Notion. We talk about, I actually have a learning, 1 week is completely dedicated to learning. And I think AI is one of the greatest inventions to help us accelerate our memory and our recall and our learning. So every Huberman podcast that comes out, I put it in my learning accelerator. It thinks like Jim Quick. It gives me the concepts based on his frameworks, so that I can start digesting his information in 10 minutes or less every podcast. So
Instead of 3 hours, you're like, you know what? I got 10 minutes.
And I'm not really an audible person anyway, so I'm like, I would rather, and then what I do is I train people to use their learning accelerator, and then learning accelerator, that's the project we build, and then it tests them back. So we'll learn, step 1 is you want to learn, step 2 is we want to write, and then step 3 is we want to test it, and you actually teach the AI back the concepts that you learned, and it won't let you be done until you're actually teaching it back the right way. So fun.
This is unbelievable. If you're watching the video, right? If you're not watching the video, my jaw's dropped so many times. I'm over here like, this is
He's rubbing his face. He's like, oh my God.
You can check out, obviously the show notes will have a link that redirects you directly to Callan's waitlist. So if you're interested, I have no idea why you wouldn't go ahead and just click that link and sign up for the wait list. So click the link, sign up for the wait list. You do not want to get left behind. Like, this is not something that's like going away. This isn't something that's just a fad. This is something that's only going to develop at a much quicker pace throughout time, to where if you don't start to learn it now, I'm not saying you can never learn it, but why would you purposely put yourself behind the curve on something when you don't have to do that?
Go ahead and use the steroids, baby. Like, look, come on now. We're all doing it. Get on the bike.
And imagine it's allowed. Like, that's the cool thing. It's like a legal steroid. And people are choosing, nope, I'm good. Don't need it. I'm all good over here. I'm just going to keep doing it the same way I've been doing it. And it's evolving at such a pace that we're going to blink and it's going to be like, oh my God, like you won't be able to survive essentially without having the tools like what you guys provide. And right now there is that, because it's just, there's such, I would say it's, how many people are really using it properly? 1% of businesses. We're early. So this is the time, though. It's like, do this now to get ahead. And not that we have to worry about our competition, just activated even more further towards whatever your goal is. And also, like, this is for your life. Like, this is for you and your family. I don't think people are realizing that either.
Yep.
I cannot wait to learn from you in this course. Like, I want to do this.
You guys
have made
it's really fun.
You've made it fun, and I think that's a huge part of learning. So thank you for this conversation, and I'm excited for October and what that looks like.
Heck yeah.
Getting that
all
going,
guys.
Yeah, so our peeps obviously know how to work with you. If they wanted to follow you and just connect with you, what would be the easiest way for them to do that?
Instagram's my spot. You can find me on Instagram at Callan Faulkner. I think there's like only one other Callan Faulkner in the world, and I have all the handles. Sorry, dude. I have taken all of them, so I'm pretty easy to find. And it just says AI coach, and I post all sorts of cool reels about like how I'm using it to build grocery lists and how I'm using it. I actually had my neighbors over there, like in their 70s, and I taught them AI, and it was all their reactions around there. And so I try to do a lot of cool hacks, a lot of cool updates. So yeah, give me a follow.
Very cool.
It'll be fun.
Well, Callan, thank you so much for today. This has been mind-blowing at the least. So we appreciate your time. We know you're extremely busy, and so thank you so much for coming on The Buzz, giving back to our community. Any way we can support you, please let us know. Love to do it again. For all of those of you tuning in today, as always, thank you so much for your time, attention. I would love to know, please text me, 816-727-7610 right now, what your biggest takeaway was from Callan, or even more importantly, maybe not even takeaway, what you are actually going to take action on moving forward so that you don't get left behind in the AI space. So with that being said, thank you guys so much. Make it great. Callan, thank you again.
Thanks, guys.